Friends, it is so hard right now as a reseller. I've done videos, and I will link one up above, going really in depth into what's really happening right now in the reseller world. But with rising inflation and gas prices and war and higher cost of goods and lower offers being spent, less disposable income for people, there's a whole slew of what's happening right now. It is harder and harder to make money reselling. And friends, you can see right here is my blue is my current 2022 compared to last year. Every single month this year so far, I have made less money than I've made in the previous year. However, in April of 2022, we will be looking at those numbers today. I made more net even though my gross is down. And so I am going to share with you how I am making more money, taking more money home, even though things are so hard right now. I'll be sharing three tips, three things that I am doing right now, making strategic decisions about my business. Everyone can do it regardless of what you are selling. Excuse me, it's allergy season, so my throat has a tickle in it. Regardless of what you are selling, you can be making these strategic decisions, doing what I am doing. I'll share those at the end of the video. And then we're going to be looking at my April 2022 profit and loss. So this is going to tell you not only that gross number, but I am breaking it all down for you, showing you full transparency of what it means to be a reseller, have a reseller business, taking out my shipping, my fees, my cost of good, my expenses, how much money I spend on taxes, showing it all for you, as well as breaking out the difference in my reselling business and my digital products, as well as my social media that you are watching me on. This all goes into that gross number that you are seeing, and I show you that breakout as well as a breakout of what expenses I have for the month, and then all the way down to that bottom line, what I actually make net after taxes in my reselling business. This is a meaty video, so let's go ahead and jump into it. If you're new to the channel, I just want to give you a little bit of a background of the numbers and what you're looking at so you know where these numbers are coming from. We are going to be looking at April 2022. I realize it's not April anymore. I realize it's not, even a week after April. I am a mom of 3 kids, and this goes into the next thing. I work part-time hours. I work about 10 hours a month, so sometimes these videos come out a little bit later, but this information is still very important and relevant even if it's a month late. Like I said, I do have 3 children at home. In April, I worked about 10 hours. I volunteer at least once a week at this school. In April, it was a little bit more. I think I got called in a couple extra times to volunteer, and then I also am a part-time sub at the kids' school as well. So I was working roughly 10 hours a week on my reselling, social media, digital products business. Well, all the numbers that you're looking at is roughly 10 hours a week. This does include sourcing. It includes photographs. It includes everything for my social media, digital products. That's all 10 hours a week. I will say this is because I have virtual assistants. I'll link a video up here to tell that light's kind of distracting. I'll link a video up here I did on how to decide if a virtual assistant is right for you and walk through that. And then as well as the process for how I use my virtual assistant. But I do have a virtual assistant. They do drafts for me. I send them photos and they create drafts for me on eBay. They also cross-list as well. They update spreadsheets, and I'm training them on doing some back-end social media as well. So that's definitely one of the ways that I am working less hours. However, you will see that come out of my expenses, right? I'm paying them to do that. You will see that in a minute in my profit and loss statement coming out of my expenses. Obviously, the revenue is coming not only from Poshmark and eBay I'm on. Those are the only 2 platforms I sell on. It is coming from social media. I do YouTube. Instagram is doing a beta testing, paying for Reels. So I'm getting money from YouTube and from Instagram Reels. You will see that split out in a minute. Full disclosure, it's not that much. Unless you're like a big YouTuber making, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, millions of views on your videos. It's not that much, but I'll show you guys exactly how much it is in a few minutes. Like I said, I have a virtual assistant, and then I do women's clothing, shoes, and purses is about 95% of what I do. The rest is, men's scattered here and there, and maybe I find a home goods or something every once in a while. I do mainly thrift and bins right now. I was doing liquidation when the pandemic first happened and it was hard to get out and thrift. I'll link a video up here on kind of why I've transitioned out of liquidation and mostly thrifted and from the Goodwill outlet bins. So like I said, this is very meaty. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video, and that is going to be the profit and loss statement. I'm changing this view a little bit, so if you guys watch these videos in the past, let me know if you prefer this. I'm trying to make it so you can see more of the screen and less of me, because that's really the meat of the video. So let's go ahead and take a look at my profit and loss. Like I said, we are going to be looking at April 2022. I currently have 1,871 items available for purchase. And my gross for the month was $8,834.70. This is for a total of 271 items. I sold 271 items in April of 2022. I had 6% returns. That is going to be on eBay with one on Poshmark. They said there was a hole in it. Poshmark pushed through the return, but everything else is going to be on eBay. That being said, they sent it to my PO box and I need to go pick that up. And then my cost of goods. So it cost me $1,518 to sell 271 items. That makes my gross profit. So from that gross, and remember your gross is going to include your shipping, your fees, your expenses, your cost of goods. This is just a general profit and loss. I'm not reinventing any wheel. If you're in finance, accounting, this is just a regular profit and loss. I'm not doing anything crazy here. My gross profit is going to be $7,316, and that's 82%. So I will say this number is slowly going up. And one of the reasons that this is happening, if you've been following my channel, you know that I've been decreasing my cost of goods, and that's because I'm doing less liquidation and doing more thrifted and the bins. So that's going to cause my gross profit to increase, right? Because you have your gross, you take out your cost of goods. If my cost of goods is increasing, that means my gross profit is increasing. Hopefully that trickles all the way down to my net, making me more money into my bank account. From there, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the Splitout. That's a good place to look at the Splitout. So now we'll scroll on over to the Splitout over here and see what this split out is between my reselling business. You can see the majority, this is not news to anyone who follows me, the majority of my reselling business, the majority of my reselling comes from eBay. However, if you have been following me, you've noticed this Poshmark is increasing. It's kind of interesting because if you're in the Poshmark world, they did come up with a new algorithm, and a lot of people are seeing a decrease in sales. That's not the case for me. I'm actually seeing better Poshmark sales this year than I did over the course of last year. Part of the reason for that, and I will link a video up here, is I started a new strategy on Poshmark, and so that is absolutely helping for me. Like I said, I will link that video if you want to check out what I'm doing on Poshmark right now. But eBay, and then so I have dashboards for sale. This is not one of them. This is my profit and loss, but I do have dashboards for sale. I can show you a little bit of what they would look like. So you have these charts, you enter your information in here, and then you would have access to the charts. Most of my other videos, I am using the dashboard. Any of the graphics and charts that you're looking at is going to be from the dashboard. So I do have those for sale. That was 6% of my gross income for April of 2022. Social media, so this is Instagram Reels as well as YouTube. Friends, I told you it's not that much for me. 2.7% of the gross revenue for April is from social media, and then affiliates and others is down here. Affiliates is people paying me to promote their products. If you watch my channel, you notice I don't really do that often. It comes up in conversation. If it comes up in the video, I don't do paid promoted. I have yet to do a paid promoted video just because nothing has come across to me that is worth being paid to talk about, honestly. And I want to I want to be true to my audience and be able to tell you my true perspective on the products that I use. And if you're paid to do it, it has to kind of look in a good light. So I have yet to do a paid promotion, but I do have affiliate links for like List Perfectly, some Amazon stuff that I use, but it's definitely not, you can see here, it's not even 1% of my business. It's definitely not part of my business model to go ahead and push those. So now let's go ahead and keep on going on the profit and loss. I do want to touch a little bit because I do look at my hourly rate. Looking at this number in a large aspect, it depends on how much you're working. Is this actually worth it? If you've watched previous videos, I definitely am always looking at my hourly because I want to know, is it worth my time on an hourly rate? I talk about this a lot in my course and how to decide if it's worth your time. Everyone's hourly rate is different, but that's a way for you to figure out, is what you're doing worth it for you on an hourly rate? So looking at gross profit, remember we still have to take out shipping fees, expenses, and taxes. But as of right now, $220 an hour on my schedule around my children. I'm planning to take the summer off. Make sure to subscribe because I have a video coming out on how I'm actually going to take the summer off and still continue to make sales. But my hourly, this is gross, so keep watching to see what that is at the net. My hourly is $220. Selling fees. So this is how much it costs me to sell $8,834. This is Poshmark, eBay, Etsy. I sell my dashboards, and I don't think I've sold anything on clothing wise on Etsy in a while, but my dashboards are sold. PayPal fees for when, people buy dashboards.
Could you say that again?
Oh, sorry. PayPal fees, all of the selling fees that are associated with making that money, $1,412. Poshmark, I'm not going to talk too much about this, but Poshmark is a 20% flat fee. Can't change that. eBay, I will link a video up above on eBay fees because this is going to depend on what category. If you do promoted listings, if you're a top rated seller. Plus, there's a lot that goes into calculating the eBay fees. I'm currently sitting at about 14% on eBay, so still lower than Poshmark. And you can tell that eBay has a higher volume for me. So eBay is absolutely worth it for me. And then we go ahead and go on down to shipping. Not a lot you can do for shipping as well, but these are two things. If you're trying to make more money, things you can do is decrease the line items that come out of your gross. So for me, I've been decreasing my COGS, decreasing my selling fees. If I was really trying to make more net, I could get rid of promoted listings and not pay that extra fee and see if that actually, if I can keep my gross but decrease my selling fees, my net is actually going to come up. I have not done that, but that's a way that if you guys are looking on how to squeeze more money and get more money out of your sales at the bottom line, decreasing any of these line items, cost of goods, selling fees, shipping, further down when we go ahead and look at expenses, decreasing those, even if you don't sell more items, if you decrease those, you're going to take more home. Shipping, you can look at ways to ship cheaper, but this is typically just kind of a pass-through, or if you do free shipping, it is going to come out. I did a video on why I don't do free shipping, so go ahead and check out that video up above. Sometimes I run out of cards, so everything I'm mentioning will be linked down below if I run out of cards, because I mentioned a lot of other videos in this video. So shipping is $1,133.85. Poshmark, if you do not offer a shipping discount, Poshmark covers the shipping. That does not come out of your profit and loss. That's Poshmark. That's what they deal with. If you offer a shipping discount, so if you send an offer on Poshmark, you have to send a shipping discount. It's part of sending an offer. If they accept, that comes out of your Poshmark profits, and that goes into the shipping number. I don't send a ton of those. The majority of the shipping fees that you're seeing here in my profit and loss is going to be from eBay. I do a straight, basically a pass-through for shipping. I don't try and make money off of shipping. I know some people do. It depends on what you sell and what your business model is. For me, I try and just charge the buyer what it takes for me to ship it to them. However, I try and make it as easy as possible. Calculated shipping I did when I first started on eBay, and I noticed that it definitely calculated a lot higher than it actually would cost, and I think that was deterring some buyers from buying. So I do a flat fee. So for instance, if something is £1 or less, I charge $5.50. On average, because I am in the middle of the state, on average, that's what it's going to cost me. I'm in Colorado, so yes, if I ship to Kansas, it's probably going to cost me closer to $4, but if I ship all the way to, I don't know, New York City, it's probably closer to, over $5. So that's kind of my average, and I just charge a flat fee for all of my items based off of the weight. Because I sell women's clothing, shoes, and purses, it's mainly based off of weight. I'm not having to, do big measurements and weights, and that gets really complex. But that's kind of where my shipping is, basically a pass-through, and that's the wrong view. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. You want to see more spreadsheet and less of me. So now we're going to be looking at what my contribution margin. So these are, like I said, this is just a general profit and loss. I'm not doing anything crazy here. My contribution margin is just when you take my gross, you take out my cost of goods, you take out my selling fees, and you take out my shipping. We do still have expenses and taxes to look at, so don't click off just yet. But this is putting my contribution margin at about 53%, almost 54%, $4,769. Friends, if you've been watching me, you'll notice this is slowly going up. Yes, it's only a couple percentages, but a couple percentages of $8,000 is a couple $100, friends. And so working on your cost of goods, your selling fees, your shipping fees, making those as minimal as you can while making your gross as high as it can is definitely ways that you can squeeze the most out of your money right now in these hard times. Definitely best business practice all the time. But it's something that you can be doing right now is really looking at those selling fees, making sure you are shipping the most efficient way possible and all your cost of goods is the lowest that it can be with still getting the good inventory that you need to keep that gross up. So 53%. Last April, I didn't look at the exact number, but the majority of 2021, I was sitting on the other side of 50%. So like 47, 48, 49%. Like I said, it's not huge percentages, but a couple percentages, friends, can make or break you. Let's go ahead and look at expenses. And I'll show you a split out here of what my expenses are in April of 2022. Sorry, friends. Like I said, it's allergy season, so I'm getting a tickle in my throat. Expenses, $1,138.32. So what are my expenses for the month of April? Let me go ahead and show you a split out. That's not the split out. Here we go. Let's go ahead and look at the split out. So this is all of the months. You can see every single month, my biggest split out is going to be a virtual assistant. It is absolutely my biggest expense. Like I said, I linked a video earlier on how to decide if a virtual assistant is right for you. It is absolutely right for me. It allows me to make that gross and to work 10 hours or less. Yes, it is my largest expense, but I'm able to still make money. You'll see what my net is at the very end. Other things that go into this, donations is probably the second biggest on top of List Perfectly. There you go. There's an affiliate marketing for you. I have a 30% discount code for List Perfectly linked down below. I use it, obviously. My virtual assistants use it to help me cross list. Donations and List Perfectly are probably the two other largest expenses. Donations is going to be, I go to the store and I get home and there's a hole in an item and I can't sell it. It's too late to take it back, or I go to the bins and I can't take it back. So I just go ahead and donate it either to a nonprofit that needs clothes for children in our district, or sometimes I donate it back to the thrift store. So that's what donations is, List Perfectly. Other things that come out, obviously not the biggest chunk of the pie, but these are things that it takes to run a business. These are also things that my CPA has said, hey, these are valid expenses. You can take it out, because if you take expenses out, that makes your bottom line lower, which means you pay less taxes, because your taxes are based off of the next number I'm about to show you. So you do want to take out as many expenses as possible that are valid. Obviously, you do not want to make up expenses. The IRS does not like that. Talk to a CPA. I am not a CPA. This is not advice. This is just what I do. So donations, virtual assistants, office supplies. This is going to be, poly mailers. You can see in January, I think I bought a big ticket item. I don't remember what it was. But this last year, my expenses were much higher because I was growing, which was great, but it means that I had to buy more bins. I had to buy more storage unit or more shelving. I had to buy a lot more, which was coming out of my bottom line. So while my gross was a lot higher, you're noticing my net, like I said at the beginning of the video, my net wasn't that much higher because I was spending a lot of money in this growth mode last year. Licenses, so I have I'm an LLC, so I have to pay for that, and some paperwork behind all of that every once in a while comes into play. Phone, internet, electricity, water, trash, marketing, administrative, and IT. A lot of these, because I work from home, are a percentage of our bill per my CPA. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that number is going to be at the end of this. So this is my profit before taxes. This is the number that I take my taxes off. This is the number I file quarterly, an estimated tax. Once you get to a certain point, the IRS is going to want quarterly filings. I file quarterly with my CPA, and this is the number that my April taxes are going to be based off of $3,631. That is for an hourly rate of $121. Friends, it is rough right now. I totally get it, but hello, $121 an hour to work on my kid's schedule. I am working on taking the summer off. Like I said, make sure to check out that video in a couple weeks. It's coming out on how I did it, but there's no job that I can be making $121 to work 10 hours a week on my schedule. My kids get sick and I take the day off. They had field day and I went to their field day. I mean, that's a pretty legit job. It is hard out there, and I am going to be sharing with you. Remember to stick out for the end of the video. I'll be sharing with you 3 things that I'm doing. I've kind of mentioned some of them as we go through the video to make sure that my net is staying up there, even though sales are coming down. People have less disposable income. So now we're going to be looking at taxes. I am not a tax accountant. I am not a CPA. This is strictly what I do. Talk to a CPA for your business. I file quarterly, and then at the end of the year, I file with my husband. I send my stuff to my CPA. He goes through everything, does his voodoo magic, and we go from there. So what I file, because I like to be conservative, I would rather save more and file more and then get money back rather than saying, hey, you owe $10,000 and I don't have it. So what I do based off of what my CPA has told me, I go ahead and 15.9% self-employee tax. There is a See, now I'm not remembering these numbers. Hold on, friends. 20% federal tax based off of my tax bracket. And then I live in Colorado and there is a 5% state tax. So that puts me at 40%. I save from that $3,631, I save 40% and file taxes. I will say, and I'll show you what that number is in just a second. I will say I have gotten that back this last year. We filed together. I filed with my husband. Like I said, my CPA does his voodoo magic. That is absolutely worth paying to have a CPA because he knows all the new laws and ways to do things. We did get some of that back, and we do max out our HSA and our retirement funds to really make that taxable income as low as it can be. I know that's not where everybody is, so definitely do what is right for you and your business and your family. So let's go ahead and take, friends, I keep hitting the wrong one. You want to see a bigger spreadsheet and a smaller Sarah. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's see, is that... Let me know what views you guys are liking, because I do want to, this video obviously is for you. I want to make sure that you can see it. See, then you can't see the whole profit and loss. So I'm going to keep it at this view. Let me know if you want to see it bigger, because I know a lot of people watch on their phones. So profit before taxes was $3,631. Profit after taxes, like I said, I file quarterly, assuming a 40% rate, $2,178.96. That is a $72 an hour rate. I am not mad about that in the least bit. Now let's talk a little bit about the 3 things that I've been doing to make that. Like I said, my gross has been down. Let's go ahead and take a look at that so you guys can really see. I showed it at the beginning, but let's take another quick look. So my gross has been down. You can see pink is 2021, blue, green, teal, whatever you want to call it, is this year, 2022. Let me move me over here. It is 2022. Every single month it's down. January, it was like neck and neck. But here, I'm down almost $2,000 for April. However, my net was up $600. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what I did to make that happen. There's 3 things I've really been focused on doing. The first one is increasing my sell-through rate. And I will link a video. No, I have a video coming out that really gets down and dirty into how to do this and why I'm doing this. It's based off of the golden formula for resellers. If you watch my channel, you're very familiar with that. If you don't watch my channel, check out my How to Make Money playlist, and I get really in-depth into this formula. It's the basis of all my strategic decisions. Average sale prices are going down. People have less disposable income. They're willing to spend less money. Offers are going down, right? So even if I was getting $30 for something before, I can only get $20 for it now because people don't have money. All of the things I mentioned at the beginning of this video, they don't have money. They still want things. They still need things. So they're sending lower offers. That means your average sale price is going down. To continue to make the same amount of money, if not more, I am working on strategies to increase my sell-through rate. I cannot make people have more money. That's not in the realm of my skill set or in my power. However, I can work off of what I know, and I can pivot quickly because I am a small business, and I can work on increasing my sell-through rate. The second thing that I'm doing, and I mentioned this a lot in the video, is I am lowering my cost of goods. Like I said, in the profit and loss, you have a gross number. We're all noticing that gross number is coming down. We're getting lower offers, we're getting less sales. Lots of reasons that gross number is coming down, but my net is going up because all of those line items, cost of goods, shipping, fees, and expenses, if you can find ways to kind of trim those down to the best of your ability, you're not going to see as much impact on your net. And at the end of the day, that net is really what matters, because that's what you are paying your bills with. That's what you are buying, saving for vacations, saving for retirement, whatever reason that you are reselling, that bottom line number is going to increase if you can kind of trim some of the fat. Now, don't do it in a way that is going to lower your gross, because then you're also going to lower your net. Work on finding ways to keep your gross the same or increase it, and lower your selling fees, your shipping fees, your cost of goods, your expenses, to try and make your net go down. Like I said, I did it mostly with cost of goods, and then also my expenses have been lowering because I'm not in growth mode. So I'm not spending money on bins, on office supply type things, and all of that. The third thing that I've been doing, and like I said, I have videos that are coming out. I have filmed them. They will be coming out. So do make sure to subscribe. Niching down. I will actually link a video up here because I go a little bit into some of the strategy with this, but I made a video that's coming out in the next few weeks on how I really am niching down and how you can decide what to do for you. It's not just considering your cost of goods. I'm looking at your return on investment. I'm looking at your time spent on each category. I'm looking at the space each category takes, taking all of these into consideration, walking you through step by step on how to do it for your stuff too, to figure out exactly how to niche down so that you are maximizing your profits. These are the 3 things that are really helping me. Let me know what you guys are doing down below in these hard times that are really helping you. If you like this video, YouTube thinks you'll also like this video. I will link a playlist here of how to make money reselling, and then make sure to subscribe if you want to learn how to make money reselling and to see some of those new videos that are going to come out.